Welcome to another session of Jaguar Talk. I'm Francisco Perez, Coordinator of Community Relations at South Texas College. With me today are English Professor and Assistant to the Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Brett Millan, and Custodial Supervisor, Julio Cuestas. Join along as we discuss the Fall 2020 Instructional Plan and the custodial procedures taking place across our campuses this following semester. Hi, Dr. Millan, and welcome to Jaguar Talk. So a lot of students are a little bit curious as to how this fall semester is going to play out. So can you tell us a little bit about the Fall 2020 Instructional Plan?
Of course, I'd be happy to. The Fall 2020 Instructional Plan is something that we've been working on ever since March when we went off to the stay-at-home order. And we knew that the fall semester was going to be somewhat different, and we just didn't know exactly how. So we started talking about it. And the closer we got into summer, we knew that the majority of our courses really needed to be online because first and foremost, we need to protect student, staff, and faculty safety. So we started working with all the deans and the chairs to get many courses online. And just to give you a little bit of perspective, in any given semester, we offer between 4,500 to 5,000 courses across the college. And now with this instructional plan for the fall 2020, we're really only going to offer about 500 courses that have a face-to-face component. Everything else is going to be online so that we can protect our students.
And what is the reduced seat time?
Sure. Well, reduced seat time is part of what we consider a part of the in-person hybrid model. And while we've had hybrids for a very long time, we've had hybrids for over 10 years, the in-person hybrid model is a new way of doing it so that we can try and lessen the amount of students in each classroom and also lessen the amount of student time in each classroom. So for example, if we have a class of 20 students, the hybrid part is that they're going to spend at least 50% of their work online, and the other 50% or up to 50% with something in a classroom. However, now with the in-person hybrid, we want to try and split those 20 into two cohorts of 10. That way we can provide adequate social distancing and meet all local, state, and federal guidelines of having smaller groups. So that way, every student will, in their face-to-face portion, will actually feel that they're in a smaller class, and then they'll get to know all of their other classmates in the online portion of the course.
So how is the college planning to schedule courses in a way that lessens the student traffic in the halls?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've taken great pains at this because we know that we may be able to reduce the seat time, but at the same time, the other thing we want to do is reduce the traffic in the halls, and also provide time for custodial services to clean. So what we're trying to do in most of the buildings is offer courses only on one side of the hall for any given time. That way, when students come out of that class, all of them are coming out in the same direction and can flow easily out to a door without, kind of coming face to face. That also provides the time for custodial services to come and clean those classrooms while the next class is done on the opposite side of the hall. And so that's what we're trying to do in every building and on every campus. So we're trying to spread not only social distancing within the classroom, but social distancing within a building and even within a campus.
So as I was reading the instructional plan, I came across the statement that the first week of class was going to be completely online. Can you give us some clarification on this?
Absolutely. Obviously online classes are already going to start online and no problems. Now the in-person hybrids, we need to make sure that the faculty member and the students have enough time to communicate with each other so that the students know which cohort they're in. So in the example that I've given, when we have 20 students in a class, the faculty member needs to split it into two groups of 10 and be able to communicate that back to the students saying, for example, if it's a Monday, Wednesday course, say, you, Francisco, are going to be here on Mondays, not on Wednesdays, but just on Mondays, while you, Mary, are going to be here on Wednesdays, but not on Mondays. And so that will all happen during the first week, along with other instructional activities such as making sure to review the syllabus, where all the resources that they may need to help them be successful during this semester.
Are the professors receiving any type of specialized training to prepare them for the changes taking place this semester?
Yes, as you know, in March we transitioned fully online to finish the spring semester, and at that point, all the faculty and we've got a great amount of faculty, and we have about 1,000 faculty between full time and part time. They all got trained for instructional continuity, so that we could make sure to provide the best learning experience we could given those circumstances in the spring semester. Now, during the summer, we've asked all full-time faculty and part-time faculty to complete the online teaching certification, which will allow the faculty to gain those skills to provide a better learning experience in the online environment, so they can push, for an online class, they can do a great online class, but for an online or in-person hybrid, they can push as much of that lecture-based knowledge foundational, lessons into the online format and create learning experiences in the face-to-face portion that allow for that social distancing and that safety. So that's what they've been working very hard all summer, and I'm very proud of all our faculty who've really done a great job.
So as a professor yourself, what would you say are some of the skills and characteristics which students may want to keep in mind this semester?
Yeah, I'm always impressed by my students. They come in with great determination, great skills, and great dreams, and things happen during a semester. Now, this is going to be a very strange semester. We don't know what exactly is going to happen in a month or 2 months from now. So I think the key skill or characteristic a student really needs to have is flexibility. And it's not really only on the students, faculty members and staff members as well. When things come our way and something has to change in the instructional plan, sometimes the best answer that anyone will be able to give is, I don't know. And I think we're all going to have the skill and characteristic of patience and flexibility and then adaptability, because I think that's what really will help us have a good semester.
So what's going to happen if a student refuses to wear their mask during the class?
That's something that we've been talking about quite a bit, and I know during the summer, the few courses that did have some face-to-face component, students were very conscientious. They were wearing their masks, and so were faculty and staff. But as far as a faculty member, a faculty member's role or professor's role, first and foremost, we're here to try and educate and provide the best learning experience for the student, and to provide a safe learning environment. And that's been, way before the pandemic. We always want to provide that. With that said, we're, as professors, we're not really policemen. We don't want that to be our role. We want to be able to nurture the learning. But if a student refuses to wear a mask, comes in and a faculty member says, hey, please put your mask on, and the student refuses, we need to provide safety for everyone else in the classroom. And so the faculty members, the professors are being informed that they need to contact security. And we hope that doesn't come to that. I believe in our students.
So if students do have any other questions for their professors, considering social distancing measures, how would they be able to reach the professors this semester?
Well, one of the main ways to reach a professor has always been via email, and email is still a very good method of communication. Now, one of the conscious decisions that has been made within academic affairs is that office hours are going to be completely online because, again, having that close contact within a confined space of an office is probably not a good idea. So, there are a lot of different ways to communicate with a professor. There's email, there's the Blackboard messaging, there's Blackboard Pronto texting, which you can put down onto your phone. There's video conferencing, technologies that we all have available to us at SDC. We have Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. We also have Zoom, and we also have Teams. So, I mean, any of these ways are great ways to communicate, and I'm glad you bring this up because I think communication is going to be a key component to everybody during the fall semester.
So, apart from the actual courses, will the library, CLE, and computer labs remain accessible to students throughout the semester?
Absolutely, absolutely. Unless we get a different mandate from the county or the state, yes, we've been working hard with our sister division of information services, and they've done a wonderful job to make sure that the library has available seating, although they've reduced the seating so that they can make sure to abide by social distancing. But the libraries are available, which is an invaluable resource because, of course, if a student wants to access the internet, they can also do it through their personal device through the Wi-Fi that's on campus. But the libraries at every campus are available. The computer labs, they've done a great job to be able to have those open. They do ask that students do a reservation online before going, although they are accepting walk-ins as well. But in all of these, they're wiping down all the surfaces that are touched often, chairs, desks, computers. In the labs, they're spacing everybody out so you can't use two computers that are next to each other. So all of this sanitation is being built into a way for students to be able to access those locations. And we can't forget the CLE for tutoring. We have CLEs, or Centers for Learning Excellence, at every single campus as well. And they're also open. Now, while they are open for some face-to-face interaction, they've done a wonderful job moving the majority of their tutoring services online. And so, they can do tutoring through Zoom. And they try and do really targeted tutoring to try and keep a tutoring session to 45 minutes or so that they can help as many students as possible. But all of those services are available for the students to be able to help them have a productive semester.
Great. Thank you so much for the information, Dr. Mian.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Julio. What is the custodial department doing to maintain our classroom safe for students?
Hello, Frank. Well, we're going to be maintaining our classrooms. We're going to be putting tables 6 feet apart from each other. We're going to have one chair per table. So we have only 10 students in the class. And we're going to be going and disinfecting all the touch points, surfaces, pencil sharpeners, chairs, all the surfaces that needed to be disinfected and sanitized.
Okay, and can you describe some of the procedures taking place in disinfecting the classrooms?
Mm-hmm. Well, we have scheduled. We have the classes schedules. So once a class is done, we're gonna go in and disinfect all the touch points. That's tables, surfaces, and as a matter of fact, we going a little bit or an extra step on that. We're gonna be using this sign. Once the class is done, we're gonna have our crew go in and fill out this little sign right here. They're gonna put their name, their date, the date, and the time that they went in and disinfect the classroom. So that way, we know that the classroom has been disinfected. Not only us, but the students that are in the hallway or coming into class. Once the classroom is done or the class is already over, the instructor is going to help us out and put this sign on the red label on the doorknob. That means that we need to go, and or that means that the class is over, so that way we can go and take care of that classroom.
And you were mentioning that you use different procedures to disinfect the classrooms. I know that they have this machine. Can you describe some of those procedures?
Sure. Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, we have a machine that is called a Total 360 machine. We use that to sanitize all the areas. And that's like an extra step that we're doing. Once all the classes are over, we would go and sanitize all the areas. That machine uses a mist, so it covers, I think it's 18,000 square feet per hour or some sort like that. So in an hour or so, we can do a big building like the J building, which is one of the biggest buildings that we have here. And we can go and sanitize that in I would say an hour and a half, to have it ready for the next day.
Okay. And so you clean every classroom after it's done. And so how is the custodial staff maintaining themselves safe while doing this process?
Okay. Yeah, we are using all the PPE, that is our gloves, face masks, face shield. Our custodial staff is wearing all the PPE, proper PPE that is provided to them, So that's one way that they're taking care of themselves, and not only them, but staff, students, and all the people that come here at STC.
Okay. And for the students, what are some of the resources that are available to them on campus?
Well, we have in all the buildings, in the entrances, we have hand sanitizers stations, or if you go in any entrance, you should see a hand sanitizer throughout the entrance. And we have hand soap dispensers that we have in the restrooms. That way, once you go in the restroom, you can go either wash your hands, or we have also hand sanitizers there as well.
Okay. And so what are some of the best practices that you recommend for students to do while they're on campus?
Well, we recommend students to wear their masks, wash their hand regularly, use the hand sanitizer. Like I was mentioning, we have, in all the buildings, we have hand sanitizer stations and, hand soaps and dispensers in the restrooms. So yeah, we just recommend them to, practice social distancing and wear their masks.
Perfect. All right. So thank you so much for the information, Julio. Have a nice day.
No problem. Have a good day, man. Thanks.
This year will be an interesting semester as we adjust to our new normal. We must all follow the guidelines in place and practice adequate social distancing for the safety of your classmates, the college staff, and yourself. If you have any questions, email us to stc-info@southtexascollege.edu. Find us on social media with the handle STC Jaguars, and don't forget to subscribe to the South Texas College YouTube channel. Until next time, Jaguars, keep learning.